I used to think minimalism was about owning as little as possible, but over the last couple of years, I've realized it's so much more than that. It's about creating space for clarity, for intention, and for what really matters to me. So today I'm sharing with you 7 minimalist habits that genuinely changed my life. If you're in need of some help to declutter, minimize your home, and achieve more of a calm space, then this video is for you. I'm also really excited about this video because I've been working on this with my friend Becky from Minimal Ease. She is a fellow minimalist YouTuber on here, and her channel is really inspiring to me. I've picked up a lot of little tips from her, and she's doing right now a video just like this on minimalist habits that I think you'll find really helpful. So that will be linked down below, and I'll also share one of my favorite minimalist habits I've learned from her in this video. So stay tuned for that. The 10-10 rule. Any of the minimalist habits or rules that I mention here, they're not like hard and fast rules. It's not something you have to do very strictly. The reason why we call them methods or rules, it's just about giving them a name that's easy to remember, so that when we go about our day and we want to do something to help our space feel better, to help us feel calmer, then we can have these little rules that just kind of pop in the back of our minds and we can go and tackle them without thinking too hard about it. So the 10-10 rule is one of those. And this is to simply grab a bag or a box or whatever you have on hand, set a 10-minute timer, go around your home and pick 10 things to get rid of. That can be rubbish, it can be things you want to declutter, things you want to sell. Just pick those 10 items and make it a point to actually take those items out of your home. So make sure you actually declutter them and not just take the box and stuff it back in a different wardrobe. So whenever I'm finding myself just like I need a little bit of an impulse, it's not like I need a massive declutter, but I need just a little bit of something to help my space feel better, then this is something I like to incorporate in my days. Cute doesn't mean I need to own it. Now, this habit was one that actually took a long time for it to sink in, and I still find myself struggling with it sometimes, but it's something I try to remind myself all the time when I'm shopping. When I'm putting things on my wish list, you see so many cute things on a daily basis. Whenever I open up my Instagram and I'm scrolling, I can see so many things there that I like, right? I like the look of them. I like how they look on that person. I like the idea of them, and seeing these items sometimes over and over again, because we get served sometimes the same ads, it starts to create a desire in us. That's what marketing does, right? And nothing necessarily wrong with that, as long as it's an item I would actually get use out of and would really bring value to my life, maybe would enhance my wardrobe. But I used to buy a lot of items that were cute, but I didn't have anywhere to wear them. I didn't have an event where I would wear that to. It wasn't something that fit my lifestyle as a mom of 2. And so buying things just because they're cute was a total waste of money for me. So when I'm in the shops, when I'm browsing online, that's what I try to remind myself. Yes, it's cute. I love what it looks like, but maybe I can first, one, put it on a wish list, give myself some time to see if I really, really want that, and also have a look at what's already in my wardrobe, because sometimes we have something very similar already, or sometimes that item might be cute, but it doesn't go with any of the things we already have in our wardrobe. So that would mean we have to buy another item to go with that cute item, and it can just kind of spiral from there. So that's one thing I really try to keep in mind for myself. The sock rule. This is gonna sound so silly, but it's so simple, and it's something I wish I had done for my kids, especially a long time ago, and for myself too. But the sock rule is just so simple. It's to simply have the same socks, the same color, the same fit. So when I go to buy now for socks for my kids or for myself, I try to buy a pack of whatever, it's like 5-pack or 10-pack of socks, all the same color and length. For one, we lose socks and then we don't have a matching pair. But if they're all the same, you will always have a matching pair because they're all the same, right? And also it makes laundry just a bit easier because you don't have to constantly look for pairs for each sock. I can pick all my daughter's socks because they're all the same, put them in her drawer. For me, I have just all really simple white socks, and I have 2 extra pairs of sports socks, but those are kind of on the side. But when I go in my wardrobe and I open the basket full of socks, they are all the same color, and it's just one of those things that doesn't sound like a big deal, but it just makes things a little bit smoother in your day. No credit, only debit. What I mean by this is we have personally chosen to stop using credit cards a few years ago. Obviously, as long as you have that credit card payment and you pay it off every month and you stay on top of it, then you won't have any interest accumulating. it can be really easy to, for one, forget about that bill and then go into maybe an overdraft. And it can be also very easy to spend money you don't have, to spend a lot extra on things we don't really need. But if the money is there, if it's available to us, even though we don't own that money because it's just a credit card, it can feel really easy, especially if you struggle with impulse buying like I sometimes do and like I used to in the past a lot more. It can be really easy to just spend money you don't have and end up in a situation that's not really the best. And we also don't buy things in installments. So things like, even if you go to buy clothes, even if you go to buy small kitchen gadgets or appliances, pretty much for anything these days, you can pay in installments. And there might be a time and place for that, but we choose to save money and have savings so that in case something needs repairing or replacing, we can just pay the whole sum and not have to deal with installments or credit cards. That's something that has, for one, simplified our life and our finances. And it's also helped us save a lot more money because we're not spending recklessly on a lot of things we don't really need. The only exception we have to this is the mortgage for our house. The 4-corner rule. This is something I've been doing for the longest time, and it helps so much to keep me focused because we can get so easily distracted by kids, by a lot of things around our home, by our phones. And so this really helps me focus in one area at a time. And the way we use the 4-corner rule is when we enter a room, let's say I want to declutter and tidy my living room. So I will start from one corner, finish that corner, and then move on to the next. And you just move around the room from corner to corner until you're back at the door. So I will usually start by tidying my kids' toys, which is next to the Billy bookcase, and then I will move onto the sofa, straighten that out, straighten the coffee table, move onto the dining area. I will straighten up the table and everything that's here, and then I will move on to the TV unit, and then I'm back to the door. So doing this kind of rotation around the room really just helps me stay more focused, and it helps me be more productive in less amount of time. The 5-5-5 rule. This helps me when I'm really overthinking something, whether that's impulse buying or whether that's decluttering an item and I keep going back and forth. I can't make this decision. I can't think, this jumper, am I gonna miss it? Should I declutter it? Am I gonna regret it if I give it away? Unless we're talking about really sentimental items, then this rule is really helpful. It's just about simply asking ourselves, will this matter? Will this decision matter in 5 minutes, in 5 days, or in 5 years? Obviously, it doesn't apply to everything, but it can be really helpful to put things into perspective when we're having a hard time making a decision that we later on realize, actually, that didn't matter at all. Like 5 days later, I didn't care about that jumper. Maybe I didn't even remember it anymore. And certainly not 5 years down the line. So that can be a really helpful shift if you're struggling with items like that. The Tetris Theory is something I picked up from my friend Becky that I mentioned. Her channel is Minimalist. I will link down below her channel where she talks a lot more in depth about the Tetris Theory. The Tetris Theory was originally mentioned in the book Think Again by Adam Grant, who is an American author, and he specializes in psychology. So he really observed how playing games like Tetris can have an impact on the way our brain perceives patterns, on how playing Tetris can actually sometimes change your perspective. And this concept is something that can help us with critical thinking and with making those decisions that we have to make, especially when we're decluttering. So just like in Tetris, we can break those big decluttering sessions into small, manageable pieces. Just taking it one step at a time, practicing and finding different patterns in our homes of how we can organize things better, how we can make things flow better, make things a bit more functional, like for example, creating a system in your entryway where you put shoes and coats and things where you come in. And the more you do this, the more you will notice these patterns in your home, and the more you will realize what's actually functional for you and what works better for you and your family. Another example that I liked from Becky is how you have these empty spaces sometimes in Tetris, and it can feel like you have to fill them in straight away. But those empty spaces can actually help you down the line to progress a bit faster. So Becky mentions if we look in a similar way in our home, actually embracing negative spaces can really help us down the line. I highly encourage you to check out Becky's channel. It's really helpful. I do hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what minimalist habits you have tried, and I will see you in the next video.